Hi there, it's Anne of Rosie Duck Designs. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. Now, on the last video I did say I'd be back with a card that was using the Country Lane suite. And this is actually the one that I had in mind to do. But as always, my life never goes the way I actually plan it to go. And in between all that, I've had to make some boxes with some chocolate bars in. So rather than do this card today, I thought I'd share these little boxes with you purely because these are going at the weekend. So I wanted to show you the finished results on this video. So I hope that's okay. I'm going to just now stop the filming because I don't want the chocolate melting because it's quite warm in this room. So just bear with me a minute and I will be back. So I'm back now to show you the box. The first box I made was actually this one, so we'll do that one first. I've now taken the chocolate out of that, but gives you an idea of what the finished product should look like. Now I've cut a piece of lemon lime twist cardstock, and I've cut that at 6 inches by 5.5. 5.5 is going to be the height, and the 6 inch is going to be the actual box. Now I'm using my scoring tool, which is really useful if you're going to make boxes. I didn't bring it in. I was just going to say, with the trimmer, you actually get a scoring blade with it, and you can use it. There's no reason why you can't. It's just easier when you're doing lots of scoring to have this. But all I would say is, if you're not going to make that many boxes, then make do with the trimmer. But invest in this if you're going to be wanting to do a lot of scoring. So try and remember the measurements. So I'm going, it comes with a stylus, and I'm going with the thicker part of the nib. I'm scoring down at 1/2 inch, 2 3/4, 3 and 3.5, no, 3.25, 5.5 and 5 3/4. That's my finished card. Now I've done this because I'm not actually going to fold on every line, but I wanted to fold for this. I wanted a bit of design on the side of the box, but it also helps me to see which side that I need to start cutting. And finally I'm going to score on the shorter side, so the 5.5 side. I'm scoring at 1/2 inch. So you can see that tool does make it really easy when you want to do a lot of scoring. Put that on the floor. So now I'm going to fold my card, and it's always good to get a crisp fold by using your bone folder. Now with this one, I'm not scoring on the 1/4 inch, I'm scoring on the 1/2 inch. That one is literally for a design. So it's the same on this card. More to fold onto there. So this plain piece here is the side that I'm going to stick the box together with. So I want to stick it so that I've got the plain piece inside and the decorated bit there. So I need to trim the corners off. So on the plain side, you don't need that corner at all. And I've just cut that on a slight triangle there. And then I'm going to do the same here. So triangle up to there, and a triangle into there. So I'm keeping part of this flat but not all of it. And the triangle off of that one. Then finally a triangle off of this one. Now I'm going to stick the box together using double-sided tape. You can use snail. I always use snail 99% of the time. I have to say with boxes I actually prefer to use a double-sided tape because it's just got a little bit more strength when you're trying to hold card together in like a box shape. So I'm going to stick, that's the plain bit, so I get bits all over the floor. Now in theory, if you fold the box like that, that is the flap that is going to come over to meet the side. Okay, so we've got the first piece of the box there. Now I'm going to stick the bottom of the box. Now ideally I want this piece that's been stuck, that edge, to be at the back. Doesn't always happen because I get confused, but that's actually what I want to do. So by folding that up now, I'm working out where I want to put some more double-sided tape. So effectively I want that one to stick down and that one to close over the end there, so it all looks quite tidy. It's seriously not the end of the world if you get confused. In those boxes that I've made, I will probably say 75% of the right way round and the others aren't, but it really doesn't matter. Now I'm sticking a tiny bit of tape just on these flaps. I have the analogy of watching paint dry now. It's like me trying to get to grips with double-sided tape. It's never a dull moment, is it? Right, so I'm going to now put a piece on both sides of that flap, just so that it sticks down really well. Because it's so small, it is quite fiddly. Not known for being particularly delicate either, so there we go. Bear with me. And I also want a piece on this bit because I want it to attach to that one. And the ends of the tape. So that will attach to there. And then I want that to attach to here, but I'm also going to put an additional piece of tape on here so that you've got sort of a double stickiness. As you put it together, just make sure you've got the box as square as you can get it. So that's the box. And then I want some designer series paper. I can get myself unstuck. And I'm using the Animal Expedition paper for this. And I've cut that at 2 inches by 4. And I'm just going to attach that to the front using some snail. I was more confident when I'm using something I like using. Okay. So I'm placing that almost at the bottom, centralising it on the side of the box. And I'm doing the same with the other side. Okay. Got a feeling that's actually the wrong piece. Just check that. Yeah, that's for the next box. There we go. I'm back to normal. It's all looking a bit too organised, wasn't it? That's better. There we go. So that's the box finished. I want to then, where I've scored this, it's going to make it easy to pinch the sides in. Slightly harder on that one because that's where it's been stuck, but it will fold. Basically, that's the size of the little chocolate bar that fits in there. Put it in the right way. And I'm going to secure that using one of these gold library clips. Basically it's finished, but I want to just put this little bit of detail around the middle of it. And I've got a piece of lemon lime twist cardstock, 3/4 by 7, and basically I'm just going to make this little band for it, and I'm putting that round the side, around the middle rather. Now 7 inches is slightly too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough, so having folded it round, I'm just going to trim that. That's probably about 1/2 inch that's coming off of there. Now I want it tight enough so it doesn't slip up and down, but I also want to be able to take it off as well if somebody wants to keep it or whatever. So making sure I've got it the right way around. I'm just going to put some snail on the end of the card, but not too far in because we don't want it sticking to the box itself. So again, I'm folding that round. It's better to do it with the chocolate inside because you've got a little bit of stability with the box. So you can see that will move and that will come off, but it's not going to fall down while it stands on wherever. So we just want this little sentiment in the middle, and I'm using this stamp which just says enjoy, and this is from the Banners for You stamp set. This is a brilliant stamp set to have because, as you can see, it's got lots of different sentiments that you use for all sorts of different occasions, so would seriously recommend that. So I'm using that with lemon lime twist. I'm just going to stamp that onto a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm stamping it near the edge because I want to punch the word out, and I'm using the 2 scallop punches. The 1 1/8 is the one I'm using to punch this one out. So doing it this way around, you can actually centralise the greeting or the sentiment where you want it. Punch that down. Let's get this ink pad out of the way because you know how dangerous that can be. And then I've got another piece of lemon lime twist, and I'm taking the 1 3/8 punch, scallop punch, and I'm just going to punch a plain hole, sorry, a plain circle out with that. I'm going to stick the two together with snail. They work really well together to make a little embellishment. I'm then going to attach that to the little collar that's going around the box, again using snail. And that's it. It's a nice little gift. You could use it for maybe children's parties. All I would say is just do be aware that you have got some small little bits and pieces, but obviously it's all down to common sense. These are going to adults, so that they can be trusted. So that was my first box, and that was what I intended to make. Due to an error in measurements, I finished up making a different box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop filming so I can put the other box together, because you've just watched me put the box together, so you don't need to do that again. So I'll be back shortly with the box as far as with the card part of it, and then we'll just add the design series paper to that. So I will see you shortly.